Xbox is giving this away for free. This will allow you to revive a dead Xbox feature. Are these changes enough to help Halo Infinite? And is Xbox making its own Genshin Impact? Let's discuss. What's up guys, and welcome back to another edition of Xbox Ready. As per usual, I have gathered a number of stories from around the industry to make sure that you are Xbox ready. If you want to get your holiday shopping done early this season, check out the links down in my description because I have links to all sorts of stuff, games, consoles, accessories, you name it. If you like watching my videos but for whatever reason are not subscribed, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button, setting your notifications to all, and help me out on my journey to 100,000 subs. First up, let's talk about Fallout 4. Now, I feel like over the past couple of weeks, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Fallout on social media, from the Xbox account on Twitter, and I felt like a lot of people were looking at that and saying, oh my gosh, are we gonna get some Fallout news? Are we gonna get a remake of maybe Fallout New Vegas or even Fallout 3? Are they gonna announce Fallout 5? What's going on? And while we haven't heard any updates on all the things that I just mentioned, Bethesda made public its plans to bring one last next-gen update for Fallout 4, bringing it up to date with PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. This will include a performance mode, which includes higher frame rates, also a quality mode that features true K and high resolution. It will also come with a number of bug fixes and bonus Creation Club content. This update is expected to go live sometime in 2023. This update will also be available on PC as well, and like I said earlier, it is free if you already have a copy of Fallout 4, whether it is digital or physical. As many of you are aware, Fallout 4 is available on Game Pass as well for all my Game Pass subscribers out there. If you download Fallout 4 off of Game Pass sometime after this next-gen update, via smart delivery, you will get that version. You will get the best version available for your Xbox with smart delivery. So you don't have to worry about, oh, am I playing the next gen version of Fallout? What's going on? It's already gonna be taken care of for you. I do think it's cool that these older titles continue to be supported and updated as we continue forward in these new console generations. And honestly, I'm never gonna complain about free stuff. That's something I greatly appreciate because as we've seen, sometimes the next gen versions of these games, these next gen updates, remasters, they're not always free. And now a lot of people are gonna be thinking I'm taking a dig at Sony and The Last of Us and this new Zero Dawn remake. I'm not saying nothing, man, because I did like The Last of Us remake. I had a good friend that worked on that. Turned out really awesome. And I'm not saying that these updates for Fallout 4 are on the same level as The Last of Us remake. Of course, they're two totally different things. So don't get too mad in the comments, y'all. And it's nice to see that the PlayStation is getting that next gen update as well. The CMA and PlayStation are kind of in the middle of insinuating that Xbox has no interest in supporting their first-party titles on other platforms. And while this won't dispel those rumors entirely, it is kind of nice to see. There's no other further details about this next-gen update for Fallout 4 at the moment, but like I said, we should expect it sometime in 2023. I'm sure Q1 2023 we'll start to see it roll out. Next up, let's talk about Halo Infinite, probably one of the hot-button topics in the Xbox community right now. We are coming up on pretty much a year of Halo Infinite being out. And when it first launched, everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, this is fun. I feel like that was the general consensus. And as time went on, people were like, okay, where are these features that were missing at launch? The maps for multiplayer are starting to get a little stale. There's only 2 for big team battle, 4 for ranked. What's going on? There's also seems to be some drama going on at 343. I'm not a video game developer. I don't work in that sector, but you know, there's been some leadership changes, some people stepping down, people filling into the roles. So a lot of people are like, okay, maybe they can turn it around, but I'm not sure. But in just a couple of weeks, Halo Infinite is getting a major content patch. It's being called simply the Winter Update. It's gonna be going live November 8th. And this will include a lot of long-awaited features like campaign co-op. Now, you may have heard a couple of months ago that there is gonna be no split-screen campaign co-op, which is very unfortunate because you can do that in every other Halo game. But starting November 8th, you will be able to explore Zeta Halo with up to 3 other people online. They're also adding in mission replay, so as it is right now, once you play through the campaign, you play through any mission, regardless of whether or not you had a good time or a bad time doing it, you cannot go back and replay those missions. Which again, kind of whack that that wasn't available at launch, but it's gonna be available as part of this winter update. For all of y'all out there who wanna pad your gamer score, there are 24 achievements for you to hunt down and unlock. And while we're not getting a full Forge mode yet, we are getting a Forge beta. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter and social media having good things to say about this Forge Forge. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully it's a very robust map building system. Hopefully it's easy and intuitive in terms of its design and use. I feel like a lot of people's complaints about the game would be solved if they could just make their own maps, make their own content. They're also adding a new 30-tier battle pass, new events, new modes, new maps, and more. And from my understanding, they're also adding in a separate XP progression system that awards you based on your individual performance in a game. Now the question is this enough to turn Halo Infinite back around? Is it enough to recapture that hype that it launched with back last year for the 20th anniversary of Xbox? I don't have any problem with Halo Infinite. Yeah, sure, the content was pretty light through the first year, but I had a great time playing it from launch through like the end of January, early February, before I picked up Elden Ring. Honestly, the driving factor of whether or not I'm playing Halo Infinite is whether or not my friends are playing Halo Infinite. I know a lot of the critics are gonna be like, well, this should have been available at launch. It's crazy that it's taken them almost a year to put some of this stuff in, but me personally, like I said earlier, I'm never gonna complain about free stuff, free content when it comes to video games. Going forward from the Halo franchise, I would like to see some spin-off Halo games. Like, let's get another Halo Wars. Let's get another Halo that's not centered around Master Chief, like Halo ODST or Halo Reach. Maybe give some of these spin-offs to other studios. You know, so 343, they continue to work on Halo Infinite, continue to provide content for them, but one of the other Xbox studios makes something like totally fresh and like a new Halo experience. Once again, this update is going live November 8th, and if you want to check out the full list of details for yourself, go on over to halowaypoint.com. They have a very helpful and cool video that showcases the Forge beta if you want to check it out for yourself. Now, as we all know, Xbox is typically pretty good on supporting their old games and making them not only playable on the newest Xbox consoles, but giving them all sorts of nice boosts to their frame rates and their resolution. They have a pretty impressive title of backwards compatible games that you can play on your Xbox Series X or S. But we got some news that was kind of a bummer not too long ago, where they were like, here are all these new games that are now backwards compatible on your Xbox consoles, but this is the last time we're gonna be doing this. This is the last batch of old games. For those of you who are hungry for more, no, I want more games to be supported. I want more games to be available from the older library. I have good news for you. This company has sprung up called Insignia, and its sole purpose is to revive the old Xbox Live servers. I'm talking 1.0. Insignia servers will allow you to access the original Xbox servers via its free service, opening up online matchmaking and leaderboards for a growing list of OG Xbox games. So yeah, guys, if you want to relive the glory days of Xbox Live, those OG Xbox servers, this service is going to be launching on November 15th, but it's invite only, so you have to register on their website. I'll have the link down in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. And they actually have a pretty decent list of games that are supported on the original servers. It's not huge at the moment. If you want to check out that full list, that's part of the website as well. But there are some pretty cool ones. So Call of Duty Finest Hour, Counter-Strike on the original Xbox Live servers. That's gonna bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people, I know. And Dead or Alive Ultimate, I mean, come on, man. Dead or Alive, any game from that series is the game that you never wanted anyone walking in on you playing that game. It's like, oh, I can explain, but I can't. I mean, it's exactly what it looks like. Star Wars Jedi Academy, now that is a game I would love to revisit. I literally used to sneak into my brother's room who had the OG Xbox and play that game. Right now the games list is sitting around like 15, 20 games that are going to be available at launch, but Insignia does plan on adding new games every month. Obviously this is really cool because we haven't seen these servers since Xbox shut them down back in 2010. So it's going to be a healthy dose of nostalgia for anyone who decides to sign up for this. I would think it's really cool if Xbox offered this service themselves. I know it probably wouldn't make them a ton of money, and maintaining the servers for that is probably going to cost them more money than what they bring in, but I feel like it'd go a long way in keeping up with this identity that they've crafted for themselves as these kinds of guardians of game preservation. Next up, we have another wild looking Series S that I gotta talk about. I love talking about these custom consoles because just when I think they cannot get crazier, they get crazier. I unboxed a Stranger Things Series S a couple of months ago, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. But the more I thought about it, I was like, well, the console itself wasn't crazy. It was just kind of like a skin on a Series S, but the whole experience of opening up the Pelican case and and then like going and digging out the Game Pass thing from the goo. That was really cool. Then I started talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Series S's that they started giving away. And the first one, I was like, that's pretty cool. This is crazy. And then the next one, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. The one where Shredder's like punching through a wall. And then the next one, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Because it looked like there were a bunch of like statues of the turtles around. It was kind of grayscale, black and white situation. I was like, whoa, that's cool. It cannot possibly get crazier than this. And then they go ahead and do it again. They're giving another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Series S away as part of a sweepstakes. The other ones, they looked like Xboxes, right? I could see the shape of the Xbox, but this one, it's straight up the old school van toy that they used to sell back in the day. It comes with the cannons on top. I used to have one. My older brother used to have one. But yeah, it literally looks like that. I couldn't even at first glance tell where the Xbox was in this thing, or whether or not it was even an Xbox at all. But if you look very closely on the back, you will see the vents for the Xbox Series S. This sweepstakes is being run by the TMNT account on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to be eligible to win this thing, you gotta make sure that you're following the TMNT account on Twitter and Instagram before October 31st, before Halloween. You gotta reply to their Instagram post using hashtag TurtlePowerSweepstakes in the comment section. Or you can respond to their tweet using the same hashtag. Now, TMNT, in terms of their video games, seem to be on a roll lately. Earlier this year, they released Shredder's Revenge, which is one of Game Pass's best titles for sure. I had a ton of fun playing this on my own, with some friends, with some of you guys. And they also just released the Cowabunga Collection, which is a collection of the old school arcade TMNT games. From my understanding, that did pretty well. And there are rumors that we're gonna be getting a AAA TMNT game sometime in 2023, which, considering that what we've got in the past have just been side scrollers, beat 'em ups, that is a very interesting prospect of having a fully fledged, high budget AAA TMNT title. Now, my money personally is on that game getting delayed, maybe getting pushed back to early 2024, or maybe it releases sometime in the fall of next year. But my gut is telling me that it's gonna be delayed in some way, something's gonna be off. But maybe that's just my pessimism, because that's how gaming, the industry, has been as of late. But if you want your shot at this Xbox Series S that's not really an Xbox Series S, but is an Xbox Series S, make sure you go on and follow the sweepstakes instructions that I detailed in this video. Next up, is Genshin Impact coming to Xbox consoles? And the short answer to that is, who knows? Genshin Impact, for those of you who do not know, it's a free-to-play kind of gacha game. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild, a little bit open world. It's like a lot of people who like anime play Genshin Impact, I feel like. In a recent interview, an Xbox senior analyst came out and said that it would be beneficial. They are sort of interested in making a Genshin Impact-like game for Xbox, and I could see that making sense in a number of ways. First, Genshin Impact, like I said, is not on Xbox consoles. If you want to play it on console, you gotta buy a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5. It's also on PC and mobile devices, so if Xbox are like waiting around for this game to come to Xbox, I'm sure at a certain point they could be like, you know what, let's just make our own kind of game that's like that. And we also know that Xbox is very, very interested in getting into the mobile gaming space. As part of their Activision Blizzard acquisition, they highlighted one of the things that they're most interested in is the King Games portion of that buyout. King Games, for those of you who do not know, are the makers of Candy Crush, and they detailed in their report saying that we want to be a player in the mobile gaming space to pose a challenge to people like the iOS App Store and the Google Play Store. And Genshin Impact straight up just does numbers on mobile platforms. It makes a lot of money via the mobile gaming system. So if Xbox had their own version of that, that would give them another weapon in their arsenal to be competitive in the mobile gaming space. Of course, we hear this kind of stuff all the time. Apparently, they're working on a Monster Hunter-like clone that's gonna be on Xbox consoles. Haven't really heard anything about that in a little bit. It's been a minute. I'm sure in between now and this Genshin Impact-like clone that is gonna be coming to Xbox consoles, maybe it's not gonna be, maybe they're just gonna be like, whatever, let's forget it. Let's negotiate a deal to bring Genshin Impact to Xbox instead of making our own. It will probably be a while. I mean, my God, it took Persona 5 6 years from 2016 when it launched to 2022 when it came to Game Pass this month to make its way over to Xbox consoles. So I'd imagine for anyone who's waiting around for a Genshin Impact or a Genshin Impact-like game, you're gonna be waiting for a little bit, a couple of years at least. But hey, it does show that Xbox is getting a little crafty. They're keeping their eye on the industry, what's working, what's not, what's making money, what people are interested in. And they're saying, hey, maybe we should do something like that. bring a similar experience on our Xbox for people who are into that kind of thing.